Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I apologize profusely. There's road work going on and they're redoing the whole road all the way down, so it doesn't matter how long I wait, they're not leaving. So listen to road work with me, I guess. I apologize. The professionalism in this video is equivalent to the ridiculousness of what we're about to talk about. I need to talk about something slightly lighthearted, just, you know, so I don't jump off a balcony one of these days. Gwyneth Paltrow, this ski accident. I was so completely unaware. I forget that Gwyneth Paltrow exists all the time, except for when she's selling eggs you put up your vagina or whatever it is. So I had a rude awakening. Gwyneth Paltrow is here. She's bitchy today. Me. This ski trial, I want to be very clear. I'm going to be lighthearted and humorous in this video because I think the entirety of this is ridiculous. That's not to undermine anyone's injuries, okay? There were a lot of TikToks that were really funny about this. I'm gonna put a couple of them in here.
There'll have to be a lot of splicing.
This was about 11. She hears, suddenly she sees, and a man comes up right behind her. It's like they begin falling to the right, and he hits down side and his head, and so she's pulling. Now he's like, I know the whole thing. Younger woman, not younger, it's young. Does that say said? I can't read it. Anyone? And I think she might have said the F word. All right, and then, okay, take that out of your mind. All right, now what's going on? Okay, everyone, I can't believe this is all on GoPro. 8, I think. That's enough on that. No!
Order in the court, Your Honor. Oh, sorry, you say that. Sustained! No, I'm a real lawyer, I promise. Gwyneth Paltrow, do you swear to tell the truth, but nothing but the truth, so help me God? Good, me too. We're linked. We're talking about the moment at hand, the ski accident. Can you please stand for the jury? Wow, you're really tall. How tall are you? You're not 5'9". Are you really 5'9"? Can you come down? Let's go back to back. So just so I'm clear with the case, oh God, so sorry. That is my Capital One bill. Hey, does anybody have the files from this case? So my first question, what does Beyonce smell like? And Gwen, just to let you know, I know this is off the record, but I have the hoo-ha candles. Guess what I have? Hey-o! How is Apple doing? Does anybody have any napkins? I'm sweating. I've never met a celebrity before. Are you gonna be in the Avengers? You know, my pH levels are a little off, but you can always get some samples anytime you want. You know, I'm happy to go into the court bathroom and, okay, you don't want any. Cool. How do you get your roots so blonde? I know for me, like, I just do kind of a blend of L'Oreal and cayenne pepper. Back to the case. My client was hurt. I think how we're gonna solve this is honestly, if you just give him a gift card to IKEA, I think all of this can be cleared up.
I want to talk with you about the counterclaim. Is it true that you feel it's unfair that Mr. Sanderson has brought this case against you?
I do.
Okay. And he has deterred you from enjoying the rest of what was a very expensive vacation?
Well, I lost half a day of skiing.
I chose what seemed to me to be the least sassy of all the articles. Gwyneth Paltrow ski crash suit. Man says he was sent absolutely flying down the slope. A Utah skier says the actor slammed into him and caused serious injuries in 2016, but Paltrow says she was the one who was hit. The man suing Gwyneth Paltrow over a 2016 skiing collision at an upscale Utah resort told a jury Monday that the actor turned lifestyle influencer crashed into him from behind and sent him absolutely flying. All I saw saw was a whole lot of snow, and I didn't see the sky, but I was flying, said Terry Sanderson, a 76-year-old retired optometrist, calling it a serious smack. That's the opposite of what Paltrow testified, and the jury has heard dueling narratives as the trial enters its second week. Paltrow said Sanderson was uphill and hit her from behind. He's suing her for more than $300,000, claiming she skied recklessly and that he has permanent brain damage from the crash that altered his personality. On the stand Friday, Paltrow said that Sanderson knocked into her gently from behind, but that the collision escalated as the two skidded down the beginner slope. She said his skis veered between her legs, causing her to briefly panic as she heard a man groaning behind her. Paltrow was present in court Monday. One thing I will say is that falling on the slopes almost immediately turned serious. I know very few people who have fallen down skiing or snowboarding, which I do both. It almost never is just falling down. I feel like every single time it's always something, not necessarily catastrophic, but definitely an injury. Like I remember one of the last times I went snowboarding, I fractured my wrist. One of my friends hurt her ribs, and we both didn't like fall dramatically. We actually just hit ice. It is very scary to think about injuries that alter your personality though. That scares the living shit out of me. The type of injury that's gonna change who you are as a person potentially. Sanderson recalled a screaming woman skiing out of control and hitting him square in the back. Craig Ramone, another skier who said he's the sole eyewitness to the collision, testified last week that he saw Paltrow hit Sanderson. Regardless of who hit whom, both sides agree the two of them fell down and Paltrow landed on top of Sanderson. Paltrow's attorneys have disputed the extent of Sanderson's injuries and post-crash disorientation, but both sides say the collision resulted in Sanderson's 4 broken ribs and a concussion. Sanderson was brought to tears throughout his testimony Monday, particularly when he appeared unable to focus or remember things. His legal team attempted to present his confusion and memory lapses to support their brain damage argument. Paltrow's attorneys used it to undercut his reliability as a witness. Sanderson's testimony also resurfaced questions about the potential that a GoPro helmet camera may have documented the crash. Though no footage made it into evidence for trial, attorneys have repeatedly questioned witnesses about an email one of his daughters sent that said, "I also can't believe this is all on GoPro." That daughter, Shay Harith, I don't know, testified last week that her words were mere speculation that someone on the upscale mountain must be outfitted with a helmet camera because they are a fixture at ski resorts. To me, this whole GoPro thing is real weird. I'm not saying this guy is trying to get money out of Gwyneth Paltrow. I truly have no idea what the fuck is going on, and seemingly the lawyers don't either. This GoPro thing is weird to me because saying "I can't believe this is all on GoPro" is a statement that is decisive in the sense of you're stating it like a fact. So to me, this whole thing of, oh yeah, you know, like this is a fancy place, people probably have GoPros, I don't know. I haven't been skiing or snowboarding in a long time, granted, and I don't know if that's a thing people do now, but I don't think they're that big of a fixture that you randomly would assume that someone at the very moment, at the very same time that you're on the mountain, they're on the same place on the mountain and they have a GoPro. Like they're that common and it's that likely. You know what I mean? That doesn't really add up to me. To me, that seems very off. Paltrow's attorneys have continued to raise questions about what happened to the footage that Sanderson and his family members referred to. It became clear Monday the potentially explosive evidence wouldn't explode. Judge Kent Holmberg said online sleuths had found the link and that its contents would be included as evidence. It didn't contain GoPro footage. Instead, it was a chat between members of Sanderson's ski group in which Ramone, the man claiming to be the crash's sole eyewitness, said on the day of the crash that Paltrow had crashed into Sanderson. Terry was knocked out cold. Bad hit to the head, Ramone wrote. I did see the hit. Terry did not know his name. The sole concept of being hit and you don't know your name, things like that terrify me. The exchange made clear that Ramone thought Paltrow crashed into Sanderson years before any lawsuit was filed. It also shows Sanderson and those skiing with him knew the woman in the crash was Paltrow. After 4.5 days of Sanderson's attorneys calling witnesses, Paltrow's defense team has equal time to present its case. One of her family's 4 ski instructors came to the stand Monday afternoon. Attorneys said Monday that Paltrow's 2 teenage children, Moses and Apple, would have their depositions read into the record later in the week instead of appearing in court. Jurors sat transfixed as Paltrow's attorney played computer-animated reconstructions of how they say the collision occurred, with high enough resolution to show trees, children's ski coats, and multiple vantage points. For its first witness, the defense called Eric Christensen, a mustachioed 40-year-old veteran ski instructor who was giving a lesson to Paltrow's family at Deer Valley Resort the day of the collision. He said he was monitoring much of the mountain during the exact moment Sanderson and Paltrow collided and didn't see the moment of impact, but saw what happened immediately before and after. In testimony that wandered into instruction about skiing technique, Christensen said Paltrow was making short, radius turns while Sanderson was skiing down the groomed run edge to edge and quite dynamically. He said he remembered Paltrow landed on top of Sanderson because he approached and took her skis off, then his. I believe you told me once if a soccer player takes out someone's legs, they're underneath, Paltrow's attorney Steve Owens said as he asked questions about the crash. Paltrow's attorneys plan to depose a slate of medical experts who are expected to undercut testimony from the neurologists, radiologists, and psychologists hired by Sanderson's team. See, the thing about cases like this is that when someone claims to have an injury, and I guess this is also my own bias, when there's a claim about a mental injury to the point that you don't remember your name, that your personality has potentially changed, I don't want to doubt that because it seems like such a heinous thing to lie about or to make up, because it's not the type of injury you heal I don't want to say that, that sounds so final, but you know what I mean? It's not like a broken arm that's gonna heal. It's the type of injury that takes a very long time to quote unquote take care of, if you can even do reparative type of therapies. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that is in some ways I think irreversible. From an outsider's perspective, I obviously have no medical degree, so what do I know? But just my first thought is that a lot of this is weird. The talking about it, but then not filing the suit, and then the GoPro thing, it's weird. And I'm the last person who's going to try and defend Gwyneth Paltrow because truly there are other swords I'd rather fall on. Then again, when memory is impacted, stories are going to be complicated. So the trial also touched on the habits and hobbies of wealthy people like Sanderson and Paltrow, as well as the power and burden of celebrity. The amount of money at stake for both sides pales in comparison to the typical legal costs of a multi-year lawsuit, expert witnesses, a private security detail, and high-resolution animation. Much of the questioning throughout the trial's first 5 days has revolved around Sanderson's motivation for suing Paltrow. Her attorneys have argued the lawsuit is an attempt by an obsessed man to exploit the actor-turned-lifestyle influencer, love the shade there, wealth and celebrity. Sanderson's attorneys have attempted to paint Paltrow as a carefree movie star who hurt an aging man and is unwilling to take responsibility for the fallout. No one believed how serious my injuries were, said Sanderson, who enjoyed wine tasting and international travel before the crash. There was lots of insults added to that singular incident. So a lot of what was going on TikTok, and the reason why I thought this was funny was, first of all, Gwyneth Paltrow is so unserious about all of it, which is funny in its own little bubble. We're not making fun of anyone's injuries. A lot of people were talking about this being a wealthy person accident in the sense of, yes, they were doing a hobby that is not the cheapest of hobbies or sports, whatever you want to call it. Both of these people have money. So the discussion was a little bit centered on this privileged case, which became more ridiculous and even more privileged via Gwyneth Paltrow's facial expressions like you saw in the TikToks. It's a little bit difficult to take seriously because of how she's acting about it, how blasé she acts about it. Part of me wonders, is she blasé like that because she knows she didn't do it, so there's that kind of piece of I know what I did and didn't do? Or is it more a question of potentially, I know I'm gonna get away with this. You know what I mean? The kind of, like the smirk of a criminal who got away with something. And I'm not saying she's a criminal, but you know, as a general image, I was thinking, is that why? Obviously, I don't have the answers to that. Nobody does except for Gwyneth Paltrow herself. What I do think is interesting is that a lot of the times when something happens with celebrities, it's immediately very serious because it's, well, a lot of the times it's horrible fucking things between abuse and other things. But here, it seems like this is one of the few times that I've seen recently where a celebrity case is almost disregarded. And granted, Gwyneth Paltrow isn't the type of celebrity, as far as I know, who's always in the news compared to other celebrities, so I don't know if it's because it's her, but it's one of the first times that I've seen something almost be taken less seriously specifically because there's a celebrity involved. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. You guys can let me know what you think. Do you think she's guilty? Do you think he is? Do you think both of them are? Neither are? Like, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.